So we have another guest at the Oxygen Devotions today. Most of you know who Pastor Rick is, but those who don't, this is kind of like the vice president under God to me in my life. You know, God kind of gives him instruction and he gives it to us. And so he's the senior pastor at Capitol.
Good to be with you today. And we wanted to talk about how we can really love people and reach out to them in a way that sometimes we have to stretch ourselves and go beyond what comes natural. You know, one of the truths in the Bible is actually referenced as the golden rule, where you do to others what you would want them to do to you. And I think that's really a good concept to try to grasp. I think, just forget about it a lot and don't think of what it's like, how we're treating someone else. And would we want to be treated that way, the way that we're reflecting our relationship to others? If we can keep that in mind, I think it really makes a difference. We try to see people through a different lens and see their value, no matter what their personality is like or what their group that they run with is like, but rather that they're a really special person to God. He's made them with a great intention and a great value. And when we can value them like God does and see our own value and realize, how would I want others to treat me, then I want to try to treat people that way too.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that Caitlin and I love, I think that it's awesome that Pastor Rick's here, because I think it's important for all of us to kind of hear his heart. It's, Kate and I have been here at Capitol for 8 years now, and that's one of the things we love the most, is the way that as a church we reach people, and as a church the impact that we have. And so many stories of people that just come in that have different backgrounds, faith, all kinds of different life scenarios. And
just last night, actually, I talked to 3 different people, one after the other. One guy came up and said, hey, last Sunday there were 2 guys, friends I brought, that don't care anything about God, never been to church, very cynical about church, and he said when they got here they felt love, and they kept asking me questions about it. He said, I wouldn't be surprised if they come back. That's about you influencing people by the way you treat them. And all our church, catching that attitude and spirit. The next person I talked to was come out of a Jehovah's Witness background, got baptized here, and it's very fresh and real to them. The next person I bump into had gone through a difficult situation with a divorce, but had come out of the Mormon faith and was now really connecting with love and with the message of how much God cares about her and starting to rebuild her life. And that was just in like a 5-minute span, one right after the other. I love the story that God is building, and your story is awesome. What He's doing in your life, how He wants to love you and help you understand how great His love is for you. And then when we can turn that around and then be God's love to other people, that changes how people see God. It changes how people see the church, and gives them a sense of maybe there is something to it when they see it real in our life.
I think, to sum it up, to me it's about breaking down walls. I think a lot of times, based on people's past experience with the church or with Christians, they have almost mental walls in their head. They look at a church and they think, those walls don't want me to pass them, based on what they think or their beliefs. And I think one of the great things about the opportunity we have here is that we have the opportunity to break those walls down.
For sure.
That regardless of what your faith was or is or your beliefs, there's a place for you in our sanctuary, there's a place for you at Oxygen, and there's a place for you in God's kingdom. And anybody, I believe, anybody can feel comfortable here at Capitol and Oxygen. And the way that happens is from all of us continuing to love.
For sure. So don't forget, you're a treasure. You're a treasure of God and a treasure to us. We love having you be a part of our life. And then we get to partner together. You can then be that expression of how much others are treasured by the way you treat them. It's a great, awesome opportunity we have to experience love in a real way, a real personal way, a real hands-on, real connecting kind of a way. So thanks for being a part, and thanks for doing your part to help love other people too.
And since he doesn't like hugs, I have to hug him to end.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I just hugged Pastor Rick.
There we go.